The wildflower man of Yosemite, Arthur C. Pillsbury, was the most famous Pillsbury of his day. Pillsbury was a visionary who used science, technology, and film to change the way people see the world. Even today, when his name has been overshadowed by lesser men, his influence is still felt. Born in 1870, Pillsbury studied mechanical engineering at Stanford. To pay his tuition, he ran two businesses, a bicycle shop and a photography shop. His senior project in 1897 was building the first circuit panorama camera, a project his professors said would not work. In January of 1898, he took his camera to Alaska. On the way, he rescued himself from a shipwreck. His photography included not only magnificent panoramas, but also the disappearing Tlingit culture. After a journey of 2,600 miles alone in a canoe, he arrived in the newly founded Nome with hundreds of photographs. In March 1906, A.C. left the San Francisco Examiner to start the Pillsbury Picture Company. On April 18, 1906, he was shaken out of bed by the earthquake. Grabbing his camera, he raced to the city. He captured the fleeting images as the shattered city disappeared in flames over the next days. The money Pillsbury made from his earthquake and fire photos was used to fulfill his desire for a studio in Yosemite. He had first bicycled there from Stanford in 1895. At the studio of the Three Arrows, Pillsbury began his campaign to save the wildflowers with films. Beginning in 1909, Pillsbury's films awakened a love for the natural world in the people who saw them. The films, shown on the porch of the Three Arrows, stunned the viewer with the mystic beauties of vaulted walls of stone cloaked in mist as waters surged over cliffs into the glacial valleys filled with life. In 1911, John Muir chose Pillsbury's photos for his book, The Yosemite, even as he continued his battle to save Hetch Hetchy, the other Yosemite, from destruction. Muir died defeated in 1914. Pillsbury continued the battle. In 1912, he took viewers further into the world of the wildflowers, where they saw flowers flirting, dancing, shaking their heads, jostling each other in their struggle to survive and bring forth new life. So similar, Pillsbury said, to our own lives. Both Pillsbury and Muir were preservationists, understanding the integral relations of living things. Muir died, and Pillsbury continued the battle for the minds and hearts of Americans. As the newly formed Park Service planned for elite resorts and golf courses, Pillsbury began working harder and reaching still further to connect Americans to the natural world. In 1919, Pillsbury took to the air so people could experience with him the absolute magnificence of Yosemite. The footage enthralled viewers. Moved by its beauty and power, people began to listen and understand. President Coolidge and his wife heard Pillsbury at a small dinner given in the president's honor. Both were impressed. In 1927, Pillsbury took people further into the world of the cell with his invention of the microscopic motion picture camera. Scientists were speechless. MIT experienced huge audiences when Pillsbury made his presentations. More people were coming to Yosemite to see and to hear at his new studio with seating for 450 people. But in November of 1927, a fire, never explained, destroyed both his theater in Yosemite and a lifetime's work in negatives. Pillsbury was forced out of Yosemite. He did not give up. Over the next years, he built the first underwater camera and made the first movie in Pango Pango, and the first X-ray motion picture camera. Opening your mind is the source of freedom. This was the beginning.